weather. Your news. Covering Calhoun, Chatsworth, Chickamauga, Cohutta, Dalton. I think it's on now. Hello, Northwest Georgia, and welcome to your weather on North Georgia Television. A mix of sun and clouds today, then scattered showers and thunderstorms expected midday. Clouds will be increasing later. Average highs a little lower than yesterday across the region, averaging around 85. Winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. More scattered thunderstorms tonight, and low temps averaging around 66 degrees. Around the region today, Calhoun starting at 65, expect 80 at noon and 84 mid-afternoon. And Chatsworth, 66 this morning. Temps rise to 77 by noon and then on up to 83. And Chickamauga, 66 this morning, 80 midday, and then on up to 84 for your high. Cohutta had 65 for the overnight low, up to 78 by midday, and then an area high of 82. Dalton at 66, noon temp of 81, and then up to 83 this afternoon. And Fairmount at 66, 79 expected midday, and then up to a high of 83 this afternoon. And Fort Oglethorpe, 66, 80 expected midday, and 83 for your high. And Lafayette, 65 this morning, midday, 81, and then 83 mid-afternoon. And Ringgold at 67 this morning, warming up to 80 by noon, and then a high of 83 this afternoon. Your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. Expect some sun in the morning and clouds increasing in the afternoon with a chance of a stray shower or thunderstorm. Highs in the mid-80s, partly cloudy overnight with potential for isolated thunderstorms. And temps down in the low 60s with winds south-southeast at 5 to 10. Scattered thunderstorms Friday morning, becoming more widespread in the afternoon. Highs in the low 80s, lows overnight near 60 with thunderstorms likely, especially in the evening. Winds light and variable. Saturday highs near 80, thunderstorms likely. Winds southwest at 5 to 10. More thunder showers Saturday night with lows near 60. On Sunday, a 40% chance of morning showers, then a cloudy afternoon, highs near 80. Clearing Sunday night, lows in the mid-50s. Sunny next Monday, highs near 85, lows near 60, with starry skies overnight. On Tuesday, intervals of sun and clouds, highs near 86, showers with lows around 64 overnight, and next Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds with scattered thunderstorms, high 85, low 66. That's your weather. North Georgia Television wishes you a blessed and beautiful day. And here are the area obituaries. Mrs. Stacy Latrice Hayes Thomas, age 37. Stacy Thomas of Chattanooga passed away Wednesday, April 24th. Funeral service will be held Friday, May 3rd at 1 p.m. from New Mount Carmel Baptist Church in Chattanooga, with Pastor Walter Lindsay as eulogist. The family will receive friends at the church 1 hour before the service. Interment will follow at Greenwood Cemetery. Arrangements are by Willis Funeral Home of Dalton. Mr. Stanley Justin Sosby, age 63. Stanley Sosby of Chatsworth passed away on April 28th. Mr. Sosby will be cremated and private memorial services will be held at a later date. Arrangements made with integrity by Sean Chapman Funeral Home and Crematory of Chatsworth. Ronald Lee Hamilton, age 75. Ron Hamilton of Lookout Valley went home to be with the Lord on April 27th. A celebration of life service will be held 2 p.m. Wednesday in the W.L. Wilson & Son Funeral Home, Fort Oglethorpe Chapel, with Reverend Brian Harris officiating. Interment will follow in the McNabb Family Cemetery. The family will receive friends after 12 noon on Tuesday and prior to the service Wednesday at the funeral home. Mr. Richard Clark Goswick, age 72. Goose Goswick of Chatsworth passed away Sunday, April 28th at Kindred Hospital in Chattanooga. Funeral services will be held 11 a.m. Thursday at the Chapel of Sean Chapman Funeral Home. Interment will follow in the West Hill Cemetery. The family will receive friends at the funeral home Wednesday from 5 until 9 p.m. Virginia Faye Hughes, age 82. Faye Hughes of Tunnel Hill passed away Monday, April 29th at her home. Funeral services to celebrate her life will be 3 p.m. Wednesday, May 1st from the Chapel of Jones Funeral Home of Tunnel Hill, with Reverend Dwayne Mills officiating. Burial will be in Gordy Memorial Gardens. The family will receive friends from 12 p.m. until the 3 p.m. service on Wednesday. Miss Sybil Arlene Ketchum, age 79. Sybil Ketchum of Dalton departed this life Monday, April 29th at Quinton Memorial Healthcare after a hard battle with cancer. Service to celebrate her life will be Wednesday, May 1st at 4 p.m. from Ponders Melrose Chapel. Interment will follow in the West Hill Cemetery. The family will receive friends at the funeral home from 12 until 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Mr. John David Cowart, age 71. Johnny Cowart of Dalton departed this life Sunday, April 28th at the local hospital. Service to celebrate the life of Mr. John David Cowart will be held Wednesday, May 1st at 11 a.m. from the Ponders Melrose Chapel with Reverend Junior Clayton officiating. Interment will follow in the West Hill Cemetery. Mr. Dylan H. Ponder, age 78. Dylan Ponder of Dalton departed this life Saturday, April 27th at the local hospital surrounded by his loving family. Services to celebrate his life will be held Wednesday, May 1st at 2 p.m. at Ponders Melrose Chapel with Reverend Grady Bartley officiating. He will be laid to rest beside his wife at the Varnell Cemetery, and the family will receive friends at the funeral home after 11 a.m. Wednesday until the service hour. Billy C. Goforth, age 77. Billy Goforth of Plainville died Tuesday, April 30th. Services to honor his life will be held Thursday, May 2nd at 11 a.m. from Corinth Baptist Church with Reverend Bobby Thomas officiating. His body will lie in state at the church on Thursday from 10 a.m. until the service hour. Burial will follow in the church cemetery, and the family will receive friends at Max Brannon & Son Funeral Home Wednesday from 5 until 9 p.m. Mary Beth Prather Owens, age 78. Mary Beth Owens of Gordon County passed away Tuesday, April 30th at the Arbor at Bridge Mill in Canton. Funeral services will be Wednesday, May 1st from the Chapel of Thomas Funeral Home with Mark Ferrist officiating. Interment will follow in Gaines Cemetery. The family will receive friends at the funeral home Wednesday from 1 p.m. until the 3 p.m. service. That's your obituaries. Now here is your news.
I'm Aaron Scott. Welcome Northwest Georgia. We are your news covering Catoosa, Gordon, Murray, Walker, and Whitfield counties. In the news today, the focus for the National Day of Prayer on Thursday. Georgia's New Hope Act signed into law. Ringgold Awards bid for revitalization of historic downtown cemetery, and the City of Calhoun's budget surprise.
Also coming up, Georgia DOT awards contract to Gordon County Paving Company, Pets of the Week, a blessing for Northwest Georgia's Multi-Community Family Crisis Center, and upcoming events.
While Thursday, May 2nd is our National Day of Prayer, advocates say we must be vigilant to pray for America and consistently and even daily. According to the National Day of Prayer website, the 4 major prayer priorities for America in the month of May are asking God to bless the United States of America, praying for Americans to love one another, beginning among Christ followers, praying for the centers of influence in America, government, military, media, business, education, church, and family, as well as asking God for the National Day of Prayer on Thursday, May 2nd, to become a catalytic spiritual movement across America.
Psalms 33:12 says, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he has chosen to be his own possession." It is North Georgia Television's hope and prayer that God will empower National Day of Prayer volunteers across America, leading and serving in thousands of observances, and that he will use and anoint Dr. Ronnie Floyd, the president of the National Day of Prayer Task Force, as he provides leadership this week, and most importantly, at the national observance of the National Day of Prayer in the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C. at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday.
Also, that God will use the thousands upon thousands of observers of the National Day of Prayer to be a catalytic spiritual movement across America to usher in the revival of the church and the next great spiritual awakening in America. We encourage you to go to nationaldayofprayer.org and get and share the detailed prayer focus with your friends, with pastors, church, business, and educational leaders. Let's join in clear agreement, visible union, and extraordinary prayer for these priorities during May of 2019.
You gotta love that evangelistic attitude. It's great, especially down here in the South. So first up today, we have Georgia's HOPE Act, a bill allowing for the limited cultivation of marijuana and production and distribution of low THC oil in Georgia, was signed by Governor Brian Kemp. The controversial bill, which originated in the Georgia House and sponsored by Representative Micah Gravely, sought to address the issue of in-state access of the already legal substance for registered card-holding patients legally prescribed the oil. Sarah Morgan is a Murray County native and mother of 7-year-old Bryson, who until starting low THC oil suffered daily seizures. Bryson is being diagnosed with Down syndrome, autism, cerebral palsy, and a rare form of epilepsy. Morgan said that the new legislation is going to make the lives of those like her son and their parents so much easier. The original House bill was met with resistance by Georgia sheriffs, including 7 in North Georgia who signed the document outlining their dissent. Initial issues that were taken with Georgia's HOPE Act, also known as House Bill 324, included the creation of bureaucracy and regulations within a short period of time and unclear funding. Also, no opt-in or opt-out for local government, as well as initial issues. According to Murray County Sheriff Gary Langford, Governor Kemp met with sheriffs to hear out their concerns before the final version of the bill was drafted and passed by the Georgia legislature. However, the final version of the bill, which was signed into law last Wednesday, is still raising some eyebrows.
In a mass email sent out to Georgia sheriffs, Virginia Galloway of the Faith and Freedom Coalition asserted that the bill provides for the potential for corruption among lawmakers, citing page 20, line 692-696, which state, "No license shall subcontract for services for the cultivation or processing in any way of marijuana if the subcontractor or any of the service providers in the chain of subcontractors is owned wholly or in excess of 5% by any state, employee, or member of the state employee's immediate family, including but not limited to any legislator, statewide, public official, or employee of the designated university." According to Galloway, the original bill that was generated in the House did not address ownership specifically, only prohibiting doctors and felons. The final version, she asserts, does allowing for up to 5% ownership by state employees, including legislators, according to Galloway. However, according to the bill's sponsor, Representative Mike Gravely, the lines in question were put to there as a safeguard against ownership by state employees. He also said that initial dissent from the Georgia Sheriff's Association did not express the view from all sheriffs in the state, and that the final version of the bill was augmented at around 85% of the sheriff's concerns early last month. The Austell Chief of Police sent a letter to the legislature supporting the bill, citing a change of heart towards the medical use of THC oil. Chief Starrett wrote, in part, our mayor was recently diagnosed with Parkinson's. Prior to his diagnosis, he was known for being hardworking and hands-on for almost 30 years in office. The symptoms progressed to a point that made it difficult for him to work. He recently obtained a low THC oil registration card. His symptoms improved after he began using the oil. Prior to using the oil, his tremors made it difficult for him to even sign his name. Access to this medication has allowed him to function more normally, including signing his name to this letter. Gravely, who has staunchly defined the bill, said he believes that controversy surrounding low THC oil is largely focused on recreational use, of which neither himself nor the legislature supports, and I think that it's honestly time for them to go out and legalize this stuff. When it comes down to having to get your oil for these kids, they're having to go black market, and you don't always know what you're getting there. So either way, you're gonna get it. So I say in this National Day of Prayer, pray for Morgan and her child.
That's awesome. There's a lot of good things going on right now. It looks like Georgia's economy is about to boom with the legalization of the growth of this stuff. I mean, that's great. I don't see what the sheriff's problem is when he already knows that it's a medicine. When it's used as a medicine and not abused, I think that's okay. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll be right back after the short commercial break.
Hi everyone, I'm Judy Elliott.
I'm Jane Marie Wilson.
And join us for our second season on Southern
Sassy. This season, we are going to do a day in the life of a fireman. We learn how to belly dance and ride horses.
and wear our wedding dresses.
They still fit, by the way.
Only in the front.
So join us for that and much more this season.
Catch us on OptiLink Channel 6
and WDNN Channel 10. Like us on Facebook, because you never know what you're going to find
on Southern Sassy.
First Bank of Calhoun and First Bank of Dalton are proud to serve our communities, providing the products you need plus the personal service you expect from your hometown bank. We offer the latest technology, like customized instant-issue debit cards, InstaPay, and more. And with our experienced First Elite bankers, switching to First Bank has never been easier.
Stop by and see what sets us apart.
First Bank of Calhoun and First Bank of Dalton, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
I am Ron McKinney, pastor of Kinsey Drive Baptist Church in Dalton, Georgia. KDBC has been the birthplace of several Christian organizations. It was the birthplace of Christian Heritage School 30 years ago, and through the Academy of Fine Arts, Labrie Symphonic Orchestra was founded by KDBC members Gene and Betty Lindauer. The ministry of KDBC reaches around the world with the missions of To Every Tribe Ministry, and I was a founding member of North Georgia Fellowship of Christian Athletes in 1992. Majesty is the longest running television program on North Georgia television. For 28 years, we have faithfully proclaimed the doctrines of grace. Kinsey Drive Baptist Church welcomes you to visit at 2626 Kinsey Drive on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Our website is kinseydrivebaptistchurch.com. To God be all the glory.
Welcome back. First up, we have after receiving a $5,000 Georgia Tourism Product Development Grant in March, the City of Ringgold awarded the bid on April 8 to have period-appropriate fencing with an arched entrance gate and a sidewalk to better enhance pedestrian access. The council put it out to bid and is requesting that the contract go to lower bidder, Manley Global Incorporated, for $15,000, according to the city manager, Dan Wright. Wright said that although there are grant funds involved, the city will still have to pay for some of the project out of the regular city funds. Wright explained that this project is not a budgeted item. He said it gained traction at their retreat and that they were able to get $5,000 grant to make improvements to the cemetery. He said the project was also identified in their tourism product development plan. Wright said that the grant and the money from the city's fund balance will pay for the project. Before the project was resurrected last fall, city council members and staff past and present planned out upgrades for the location in 2011 before an F5 tornado struck the city in April of the year, causing a lot of projects to be placed on hold. The cemetery, which has the graves of several Civil War era soldiers, is frequented by history buffs and is also a popular stop on the city's ghost tours during the annual Haunted Depot festivities. With a projected $265,000 positive in the upcoming fiscal year's budget, officials for the city of Calhoun are considering using around $150,000 to support 2 different salary increases for employees. City officials and council members discussed the fiscal year 2020 operating budget and capital plan during a work session following Monday's council meeting. Public hearing on the budget and capital plan is set for May 13th at 7 p.m. during the regular scheduled council meeting on that day. City Administrator Eddie Peterson projected revenues are at $15.1 million, and with the estimated expenses, the city will be left with around $265,000 positive. And the idea is to use some of these funds for salary increases. One of the 2 salary components being considered is a 1.5% salary increase for city employees. The second salary component concerns boosting the pay of the lowest paid employees who have been with the city for years. And speaking about the second salary component, Peterson shared an example of a worker at Fields Ferry Golf Course who has been there for more than 2 decades and is considered one of the best workers there. However, his hourly wage is still at $13, he added. Peterson said of workers who have been with the city 5, 10, and even 15 years or more without seeing a pay increase, that they can help get these people to a living wage. Peterson shared the general government cash report with council meetings during the regular meeting. And one of the best positions, he said he has seen the city in many years. There's $5.385 million in total operating revenues. He added this would prove to be beneficial for upcoming capital projects. From general cash reserves, the city will look to continue updating the police department's fleet for $814,000. The city spent around $100,000 on these updates last year and will look to split the remaining cost over 2 years at $308,000 each year, as well as paying $425,000 for a new fire truck.
The city is planning on reserving SPLOST, the 1-cent special purpose local option sales tax, funds for the construction of a new police station on McDaniel Station Road. Projected cost $3.6 million, and remodeling the Recreation Department's general maintenance building estimated at $500,000. Also, SPLOST funds are being planned for use on Phase 2 of the Peter Street project. The Joint City Council projected has $3 million reserved for Phase 2, which is expected to cover Peter Street from Richardson Road and hopefully to Irwin Street. The project includes sidewalk, curb, and gutter improvements, and specifically for Irwin Street, Phase 2 means doing away with the skews as it meets Peter Street to make it straight as it intersects with the city's financial position. It is not looking to increase the current mileage rate, rather opting to keep it at 2.48 miles. Peterson said during the regular meeting, Utilities Director Larry Vickery shared a positive cash report. He said total operating revenue was at $4.8 million and total saving and reserves were at $7.9 million. He added during the work sessions that there is no loaned money in the utilities budget. One of the highest of the utilities budget was Vickery speaking to the success that the 3% increase to waters and sewer rates per 1,000 gallons, which have created dedicated funds for special projects, namely more than $2 million for a sewer main extension along US 41 South. With these funds generated specifically from the rate increase, the city is looking at opening up 750 acres for industrial development from the sewer expansion, which Vickery said she was unheard of in the business they are in. Vickery also said the 14% increase to water and sewer rates outside the city and the Calhoun utility rate resolution has generated funds more than $1.2 million project and a Ranger to build a new water tank and add 12-foot lines, which will support the construction of a new $40 million Pilgrim's Pride feed mill on US 411 and Ranger.
That's absolutely awesome. I mean, it seems like there's a bunch of great things going on in the community. Next up, work could begin soon on resurfacing US 41 State Route 3 in Gordon County. Georgia DOT has recently awarded a contract to Northwest Georgia Paving, Incorporated of Calhoun, valued at a little over $1 million for a construction project to resurface a portion of the highway in Gordon County. The project includes 2.250 miles of miling, inlay, and plant mix resurfacing on US 41, beginning south of Irwin Street and extending to East Line Street in Gordon County. This project and others like it in Northwest Georgia add up to these two things: better mobility and better quality of life for all of our residents. According to Grant Waldrop, district engineer at the Georgia DOT office in White, this resurfacing project is scheduled to be completed by the end of February 2020 at a construction cost of roughly $1.165 million. Information on construction and lane closure schedules on this project will be forthcoming before the work begins.
Now let's look at the pets of the week. The Humane Society of Northwest Georgia has a variety of gorgeous kittens available for adoption. We have long hair, short hair, and various colors to choose from. You can go to hsnwga.org to apply for a dog or a cat. Adoptions are Saturday from noon to 4 p.m. at the Humane Society. If you would like to foster a dog or a cat or volunteer, go to our website to fill out an online application. The Humane Society of Northwest Georgia is a local organization supporting the human companion animal bond. We are funded by the generosity of donations, so keep that in mind on your prayer day.
Sounds great. Next up, the Family Crisis Center of Walker, Dade, Catoosa, Chattanooga, and Dade counties recently received a generous donation from a Chattanooga Mental Health Association. According to Director Christy Lawson, the Family Crisis Center received the donation April 18th from Dr. Cheryl Betchel of the Betchel Grace Smith Counseling Center. Betchel also serves as president of Chattanooga Area Psychotherapy Association. Lawson said that it was a wonderful donation from Kappa of $3,217. Kappa represents over 70 licensed clinicians in the tri-state area, and according to Betchel, they are very grateful for all the Family Crisis Center does in helping to assist domestic violence survivors in the community. Lawson says the donation didn't have a specific designation as to how it will be used, and stated the funds will be used to help with the center's general needs in helping provide shelter and essentials to women and children of victims of domestic violence. Now, some of the upcoming events around the region. Georgia Legal Services Program is hosting a free legal advice clinic on Monday, May 6, 2019 at Matt Gaston Community Center from 8:30 to 12 p.m. This event allows people to come and speak with local attorneys about any civil legal questions or issues that they have. Local attorneys are volunteering their time, and this event is free to clients. If you have any questions or would like additional information about Georgia Legal Services Program, please feel free to call 706-272-2258, the extension being 2925.
And I'm Aaron Scott. We thank you for tuning in here at Northwest Georgia Television on National Prayer Day. Remember, guys, above all, stay classy.